is my 40-week update. If you hadn't guessed, I'm overdue by 4 days. And also, if you hadn't guessed, I sound pretty awful because I have a cold, and that's partly why I didn't do an update last week, because I've had this cold for like over a week now and it doesn't seem to be budging, and it's just another thing on top of everything else basically. This whole last 2 weeks since my last update, it's just been horrible, to be honest. I know I said in the last update like things, home life sort of thing wasn't great, and it just kind of got worse rather than better, and I feel like everything that literally could go wrong at the moment has gone wrong recently, and I just, yeah. I obviously didn't want to do this update last week because obviously being ill and then everything else, it was just like, I just couldn't bring myself to do it. I wasn't sure about even doing this week's one because, again, I'd sound awful. I'm probably going to be coughing and sniffling and stuff, but I'm here. I'm at 40 weeks and I feel like, you know, people are going to start wondering or thinking that we've had him and stuff like that, but no, we haven't. He's still very much in my tummy. But yeah, I thought it was still worth to try and do an update, and obviously I know that, like, I'm pretty sure there's other people who, you know, go overdue and feel exactly the same as me, so this is probably going to be very much another video of me moaning and feeling sorry for myself, but you know, that's kind of what pregnancy updates are about, right? This cold doesn't seem to want to budge, it doesn't matter what I do, this baby doesn't want to budge no matter what I do. I've literally tried everything and I just feel like I don't understand. Like, a part of me, I think I'm just constantly second guessing myself. A part of me thinks that maybe because of this cold my body doesn't want me to go into labour until it's better, and then another part of me is like, oh, maybe I'm not trying hard enough, maybe I haven't, you know, maybe stress is stopping me. But then other people say that stress makes you go into labour, so I'm like, I just feel like I don't know, I don't understand what's going on. I just thought I've had him by now. I'm just miserable, I'm just a typical overdue pregnant miserable woman, and I never thought I'd be here, and I think that's probably the hardest thing for me. And I know like other people probably go through this a lot more than I do and have had a lot more problems than I have. Don't get me wrong, I know I'm still lucky, I know I'm lucky I have this baby and I'm hoping that everything's fine, but I feel like part of me just worries more because he hasn't come, and I think, you know, is there something wrong that I don't know about? But his movements have still been fine. Random contractions, like Braxton Hicks kind of contractions, and I had some more consistently in one day, like a couple of days ago, but then they just went away and they weren't ever close enough to be like, let's time them. I know originally I said I was gonna try and ring the midwife if I got to this point, but she's only in on a Wednesday. By the time I thought about it, really, I would have had to ring yesterday. And obviously with this cold thing, I don't really want to be going to a doctor's office. I don't really want to be catching anything else. I just kind of felt like there wasn't much point, to be honest, because everything I'd read up about recently, it sounds like it's more common than I thought in the UK to be induced, you know, be seen after 41 weeks. So, and like I wouldn't have been able to get a sooner appointment other than yesterday. And I still don't think she would have. She's not exactly the most helpful of midwives, so I just kind of felt like she probably just would have passed me off. So anyway, kind of moving on. As you can see, my weight is 9'1". It's kind of just under 9'2". It fluctuates between 9'1" and 9'2". I really thought I would have gained more since I'm like, you know, further along this time, but a part of me wonders if obviously the stress and me not feeling very well, I haven't had as much of an appetite this last week. At the beginning of last week I was sick, partly due to me coughing and everything and stuff. Just after throwing up once, it drastically reduced, and I couldn't fit as much in my tummy and all that sort of thing, so I'm not entirely shocked that I've not gained anything / kind of lost a little, but obviously it does worry me because I'm near the end. I should, if anything, I feel like he should be bigger, I suppose. It might just be me, but I think my belly feels smaller and a little bit like shrunk, and I know that can happen before going into labour, and a part of me kept on going, oh, maybe that's a sign I'm going to go into labour, but obviously not, because it hasn't happened yet. I feel like I'm just constantly trying to guess, like second guess everything, trying to work out what's best, like how to get him here, how to get rid of this cold. Like, you know, I've tried resting for ages, and then, you know, I've had so much vitamin C and trying to, you know, even painkillers. I hate taking painkillers, but I've taken them, trying to rest up, and then nothing was happening. So I just was like, you know what, I can't put my life on hold, or Isla's, because she didn't go to nursery last week. So now I'm just trying to get on and do everything like I normally would, and hopefully it will eventually go, but I just, like, I can't breathe properly, I can't taste anything. There's just a part of me that's like, why? Why am I here? Why am I stuck being pregnant? Why have I got this cold now of all times? Like, I want a break. I want my baby boy here, I want to be able to cuddle him, and I know that a part of me is like, okay, yeah, I probably should want to budge this cold before he comes, because I don't want him to catch it, as well as I don't want, you know, it's going to be harder with a newborn being ill and stuff. But at the same time, it's that sort of, when he's here, I can look at him and know that he's okay, I can look after him that way. Whereas when he's in my tummy, it's like, I feel like I can only do so much. And there is a part of me that worries that, you know, like, if he is actually overdue, and what if, like, the placenta starts breaking down and things like that. Like, I worry about everything. And obviously, basically my next midwife appointment is next week, next Wednesday, and she should be performing a sweep, and she should book me for an induction. So I know there's an end to this. I know that eventually we should have him, but I just feel like, because everything's pretty much just gone wrong recently, a part of me is just panicking that more's going to go wrong. And I don't want to think like that. Like, I don't want to be negative. I know I should try my hardest to be positive, and sometimes I am. Like, sometimes I'm really like, come on then, let's just, you know, get on and do things and make things happen. Other times I'm just like, I can't. I just want to give up and sleep and hibernate until he's here, until everything's blown over. So, sorry, after that ramble. With my weight, obviously, it seems like I'm basically gonna have gained 26 to 27 pounds unless I gain anything in the next week. So that's probably where it'll stay at from now on. Like, that's what I've gained my pregnancy, which was the same with Isla, so I'm not too shocked with that. I did think I'd gain a little bit more, especially being this overdue, but I don't know. Obviously other factors have been in play, So yeah, symptoms. Like I said, I've had some contractions. I think they're Braxton Hicks because they haven't gone anywhere. I haven't really had any other labour signs. I've been needing to pee lots, even more so, like, you know, I'll suddenly really need to pee because I'm coughing lots, which, you know, makes that whole area harder to control. My heartburn has still been painful on and off. There's still definitely a lot of pain and pressure down there. I've been walking lots to try and get this baby out of me. And I definitely feel the weight of him so much on my whole lower area, even like my bum and like my hips, my everything down there. I've had a lot of headaches in the last week, but again, I think that's partly just to do with my cold. Obviously, I'm stuffed up, so my nose hasn't been great. Like I said, I can't taste anything either. That's obviously to do with the cold as well. And as I also said, I haven't really felt like eating as much, so my appetite has definitely gone way down compared to what it was. The plus side on all of it, I suppose, is that I'm still definitely getting movement from him. He's still moving lots. This whole, like, worrying about my belly being smaller, there's parts of me that's gone, what if I've, you know, like, lost some fluid without realising, thinking it's just going toilet, because there has been moments like that, but another part of me is like, no, you know, I think, if it was like water breaking, because it does feel smaller to me, it makes me worried a bit more. But then I know, like, I feel like it's just silly worrying because I haven't been in this position before, and I know that if I go to the hospital, they're probably just going to say that anyway. And obviously, if he had reduced movements as well, I'd probably be like, yeah, right, we're going to get him checked. But he hasn't. He's still been moving probably more than the average baby at this stage, honestly. Like, he moves so much, which also makes me wonder if he's just not even engaged properly, which again makes me think, well, if he's not even engaged, no wonder I'm not going into labour. Maybe my body's going, well, he's not ready, he's not getting himself into position, I don't know. Hopefully there won't be a 41-week update. I don't know, even if I get to 41, if there definitely will be, because around the time I'd be doing it, I should be having my sweep, and I might have an induction, I don't know yet. Everything's all sort of play it by ear at the moment. I really want to go into labour naturally. I'm hoping still that that's a realistic possibility, but I feel like the closer I get to next week, the more it feels like it's just not going to happen. That's my miserable life at the moment. I'm just here waiting for baby to arrive with this lovely cold, sounding wonderful. I just want my baby. Every day Isla is also like telling him to come out. We've got a few clips of her like on my due date. I might put in some pictures and stuff. We did an eviction notice. And yeah, we managed to record a bit of her telling him to come out. It was just really cute, and she's like, I want snuggles and cuddles and you to play with me. And she tells him pretty much every day, and it just breaks my heart for her as well, because we kept on saying, oh, he'll be here soon, he'll be here soon, and it's like, yeah, when? And also we wanted to take him to see Father Christmas with her, and if he's not here by this weekend, then he won't be able to, because we're going this weekend regardless. I don't want to leave it too late, so it's a bit sad.
I need to come out, baby.
Why?
I need them to come out. I need kisses and cuddles.
Yeah. And you
I need to.
you want to take pictures with him, don't you? Yeah.
You're going to give him a kiss? You're a good girl, aren't you?